been a long while. Oh, well, hello there. Sorry, folks. I had an impromptu dinner party session. Mentioned my channel, and all of a sudden that turned into a whole nother discussion. And so, anyway, I was being a good host. But here we are, and thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And now we're going to get into it. We're going to get into this kind of quick. So, because I got a few points to make. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So, what kind of kicks this off is, let me show you this first. So I saw this particular post on Twitter and had the infamous Charleston White, who of course is entertaining. But let's see what he has to say right here. Fair use.
Before Mexican,
even Africans and like Nigerians say crazy shit about African Americans.
Yeah, nobody rock with us but white American, homie.
But what is it about us though that makes us the most hated?
We're disrespectful. We're arrogant,
loud.
We have an ethnocentric ideology belief as if we're better than everybody because we think we were the first.
We think we're old.
Yeah. We're entitled.
Yeah.
We're lazy. When you get on the job with most black people, everybody look at them and say, man, we don't work as hard as other people. So it's obvious why they don't like us. Just look around on your job. We the loudest. We come in. If we having a bad day, we go tell them off. We ain't taking what we're not gonna put up with. And we're not the brightest. We're not. We used to be at the front of the pack. I'm in the 60s and the 50s. We're not the brightest anymore. And we ain't the strongest and the toughest like we think we are. That's why the white boys got into UFC and started kicking ass.
Us as black people, do we have any allies? Do we have a race that
white people?
Bro, shut the fuck up, bro.
If you're a patriotic black person, a white person will be your best friend. If you're patriotic. If you're a patriotic black person, white people will be your best friend. You see that, nigga? Nigga, the Ku Klux Klan sent me that from Stone Mountain, Georgia. You think I'm bullshit? The Ku Klux Klan sent me that. Look at that address.
Wow. Y'all, this is real. I can't put it on camera.
No, look at that address. Where'd that come from? The headquarters.
Memorial Drive.
The motherfucking headquarters.
Conservative. Wow. How they find you?
They've been putting my address online forever. They sent that to the main house.
Did you ever go to the main house?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I understand. Who else teaches us how to read? No other race would teach us their language. No other ethnicity group would teach us their language. White teachers taught us how to read and was fair to all of us for the most part, no matter what their prejudice or ideology was. So most don't know how to read if it wasn't for a white school.
So you think white people, if you're patriotic, white people will rock with you before Hispanic will?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the clip, right? And that spawned some other clips, right? Actually, what did I post? I posted something here recently. In response to that, I posted this.
Personal foul. I'd like to salute our military veterans. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Return team, number 11. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. First down. I'd like to salute our military veterans.
So, and one response in particular I had, let me see. Let me pull that up for y'all. Yeah, there we go. Add this back. Okay, so that video prompted this response, right? The main issue with this is he just described our degenerate class. Literally every group has a degenerate class that acts just like this. Black Americans are the only group that our degenerate class is viewed as the majority. This is self-hating at its finest. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm going to tell you why. All of these statistics clearly put the majority in the dysfunctional category. The reason nothing changes, in fact, only gets worse, is Black people can't admit the truth. Like an alcoholic shouting, "I don't have a drinking problem." There is no internal imperative to improve, just excuses. So this is Black children live with two parents. Minority are living with two parents. Right, distribution of household by race. Since there are no marriages, 50+% are under 50,000, right? Far and away the highest of any group. 75% of Black California boys don't meet state reading standards. And to put that in context, state reading standards just mean you're not retarded, basically. You're not advanced. It's like you're not retarded and you can hold a minimum wage job. You can hold an entry-level job. You can be a cashier, or you can work the fries at McDonald's. You can be an assistant at a veterinary clinic. You can work a basic job. That's what state reading standards are. And 75% of Black California boys don't meet state reading standards. All right. Percentage of non-marital births. Non-Hispanic Black, 70%. 70%. So the problem isn't the degenerate class in and of itself. It's the petri dish that creates these people. That is the problem. And we're on this not honest about it. Right? Just not honest about it. So that hold on, let me just oh. Let me find this other one. All right, where are you at? Dang, I hate that it keeps loading this. All right, so someone posted this, right? Someone posted this video, and I'm not even going to play the audio. The audio is terrible, but it's as bad as it looks. It is as bad as it looks, man. So, the I Love New York shirt. I mean, good gravy. So, but that prompts, again, another response, right? And the response isn't, where is it? Isn't, yeah, we got to get rid of that. Here we go. All right. The response is insecure racists are the problem. Are they? Like, are they the problem, or is this the problem? What is the problem? Is the problem this and the petri dish that enables it? Or is it this person? For some reason, other people noticing Black dysfunction is racism instead of a clarion call to purge it. Because I don't see a lot of energy in purging it. I see a lot less of that. I mean, certain individuals, sure, but I mean, from an aggregate standpoint, there is way more energy on Jay-Z than there is on King Randall. And I'd wonder how much do people like this donate to King Randall? So, and it's just, unless you get honest about it, right? It's just nothing is going to change, right? You got an atrocious out of wedlock birth rate, an atrocious marriage rate, an atrocious divorce rate, and this is what, bro, this is what Black people are doing. Fair use.
Just pin it on one player. It has taken the WNBA almost 28 years to get to the point where we are now. And this year, something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because...
Bro, the point to where they are now is losing $40 million. I mean, the WNBA is basically a charity.
Because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark. It's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized. And I don't think we can just pin it on one player.
There has been, this phrase has been couched, hasn't it? The Caitlin Clark effect. Why do you think that has been the case?
Okay, that's a point there. Caitlin Clark effect. Keep that in
I
mind.
want to be very diplomatic about this. It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen. So last night, we read Time Magazine, where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that?
What? How do you put the whole WNBA? The whole WNBA isn't the Athlete of the Year. Could you imagine the NBA commissioner, right, or a team owner saying, so what if they have Michael Jordan as Time Athlete of the Year? Can't they put the whole NBA on there? Can't they?
Cover and said, the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have. Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates.
Yeah, I'm about to show you the community notes, which absolutely bodies
Creates
this one.
hard feelings. And so now you're starting to hear stories of racism within the WNBA. And I don't want to hear that. We have got to operate and become stronger as a league and respect everybody that's playing and their talents.
You mentioned Time Magazine.
Yes.
And Caitlin Clark has made a point of using that moment to say we need to celebrate the Black players in the WNBA and what they have done, and credits them for being so much the foundation of the success of the league. How important is that? If it shouldn't have to be the case.
Yeah, she shouldn't have had to say that, but I applaud her for saying it. We cannot continue to operate because this division of racism is going to tear us apart.
Kathy Engelbert was criticised, wasn't she, for not being firmer in her condemnation of the racist abuse.
Racist abuse? What? Oh, she said abuse because she's from the UK.
Online suffered by the players. What was your reaction to how she dealt with that?
Well, I didn't want to think about it too much, but I think the players were right. She admitted that she made a mistake in the way she phrased it. And I just think she could have been a little bit more diplomatic and understanding of what the landscape of what's happening out there. Because the WNBA is at an inflection point where we're starting to really go up. And I don't want us to lose that momentum. What is happening now is perfect. But as I've also told many, many of our players, I said, this is just the canary in the coal mine. We have got to be careful because we're now entering into a new political climate. We do not want to draw attention to ourselves in a negative way, to have anybody use it as ammunition against us as athletes.
How do you do that? What are your players saying to you about what they want to see happen?
That's enough. Let me just skip to the community note. 31% of the Mystics' total home attendance for the entire 2024 season came from the 2 games versus Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Let me just repeat that. 31%, a third of their entire attendance, and therefore probably ticket sales, came from the appearance of one player on 2 nights. They need to shut up. They need to shut up and enjoy the Caitlin effect, right? But women function on cohesiveness, right? Being a blob, right? You can't have a star. And especially not with a white woman being a star in a league full of Black lesbians. Gonna be a problem, right? Gonna be a problem. So, I mean, stop it. Get some help. So, it's just this whole thing of we're not being honest about what is actually going on. I mean, I was trying to explain. Actually, let me bring that up. Where did I have that? Let me bring it up now. So I established this. I made this little drawing that I will show you all. So I just had a guest. And we were explaining this. And the question was, well, what happened to, there's all this, hindrances to Black people, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, It was the 50s. 50s were the high water mark. Then came the civil rights, was just a Marxist psyop. And I had to explain that. Educated Northern culture, right, versus black rednecks and black redneck culture, and how the foundation is Marxist. So it was funny. There were person I was talking to said someone at her job back in the day said, you know what, we really like you guys, right? And you guys was in reference to Black Island people versus Black Americans. And I started dying laughing because this whole time she is trying to lend credence to the idea that, you know, Black people are put upon and can't succeed in America, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You just invalidated your entire argument, right? You are preferred, right, because you are excellent, right? And there is a culture of being better amongst your particular group of Black people, and other people notice, right? And that's why I told her that, hey, that is why Jesse and Al were throwing a fit over Africans getting scholarships that are supposed to be earmarked for Black people, right? So, you know, I had to explain this. And so I said, what you witnessed was people noticing the difference between Black redneck culture and educated Northern culture, right? And even my, even other people have talked to my wife, and non-Black people have talked to my wife, and they said, you know, why are you so different? You know, in a hushed tone, right? Like they're not supposed to ask that. You know, that's not something they're supposed to notice. And, you know, I started dying laughing. Like, I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious when you're like, I revolve completely around educated Northern culture, right? And some people revolve completely around Black redneck culture, but some people try to move in between, right? They try to waft and come in here, and they try to have racial allegiances, but still value education, and still want to have a nuclear family, but still want to deal with Keisha because, you know, they're pro-Black. You know what I mean? It's this weird thing. People try to go in between, right? And my solution is you're going to have to separate yourself. My solution is educated Northern culture moves further to the right and creates a vacuum that other people can get sucked into. Right? You're going to have to create that vacuum. You're going to have to create the choice. You either want to adhere to Black redneck culture, or you want to come over here to educated Northern culture with the people who are actually functional and living in good neighborhoods and living like everybody else. So what are you going to do? Right? Because this is, even though the degenerate class is small, not as small as you would think or like, right? But this is the incubator, right? These people here are the incubator. And that's what really has to change, right? If your first instinct is insecure racists are a problem, it's like, nah, man, this chick looks like a Black and Mild come to life, you know. All that crazy rapping is, you know, it is what it is. You know, admission is the first step to recovery, right? So it is actually incumbent upon educated Northern culture, the people who are there, to build the wall. It's just like Victorian culture, right? Right? The Victorians imposed their culture upon the masses, right? That is how London was able to grow to an enormous city with relatively little crime, right? It is up to, if you really want to change, it's up to educated Northern culture to impose social mores on the rednecks and to move away from them. The first instinct should be condemnation, not defense. All right. So, and one of the comments I wanted to get into. Oh, where'd that go? Darn it. I closed it, didn't I? Okay, hold on. Close that page. Okay, here it is. All right. So there was one other comment down here. Oh, okay. Here. It is because we do not control our image. Right? It is because we don't control our image. Is it really? Is it? I want to explore that real quick because there is. Oh, gosh. Gosh darn it. What happened? I thought I had that. Oh, here it is. Ah, okay. Here it is. So we don't control our image. Okay, let me show you what this is. Top rated United States television programs by season. Okay. So if you look at the numbers, right, these are your Nielsen ratings, and you have super high ratings, right? This is in 1950. You got 3 channels, right? So you've got the entire market. So you have really high numbers here. So let's move to the 80s. Now, what happened in the 80s, folks? And look, here is 34.5. This is 80 to 81, right? Dallas was a #1 show, 34.5. Remember that, right? So what happened here? And you had the Jeffersons. Of course, that wasn't the greatest, but highly rated. So this is a rich black guy on TV. Rich black guy on TV. Remember Love Boat? Remember the, who's the black guy on the Love Boat? I forget his name. Right. So, heck, the Jeffersons was rated higher than Archie Bunker. So, okay, so let's keep going. 84. Here we are. The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show. So, 85, you had the Cosby Show. Right, 84 to 85, 85 to 86, 33.7. That is a tremendous number considering nobody hit the 30s since Dallas. Nobody hit the 30s since Dallas. And that wasn't because just black people were watching. And now here's the other thing. I mean, if you'd have watched, took Space Aliens and only watched NBC during this time period, you'd have thought black people were like 30% of the population because we were all over the place. Miami Vice, Crockett, and Tubbs. Right? There were. Okay, now look at this. A Cosby Show. Like The Cosby Show at #1. What is #2? What is #2? A Different World, a freaking spinoff. A spinoff is the #2 show. You understand? Beats Cheers, Golden Girls, Growing Pains. I mean, if you're I know I'm dating myself, but you got to understand, these were all the good shows. So, and now, as far as our image goes, LA Law, right? Blair Underwood getting on LA Law was like, it was huge. And he was there all 6 seasons. So black people had a chance for their image. More than a chance. Yeah, they had look at this, man. LA Law, Cosby, and look how long the Cosby Show was #1. Look how long it was. I mean, Cheers didn't pass A Different World for a couple of seasons. Right? It was below A Different World until 89, 90. You understand? There were Oh, in the heat of the night, bro, there were plenty of opportunities for positive black images. And the negative images that were out was, well, when you turn on your local news, what are you going to see? Right? They say, hey, there's a suspect, and the description is some black guy of some sort, right? Oh, they're only showing us doing crimes. Well, Blair Underwood on LA Law was huge. Huge. So this brother here, right, as a high-powered lawyer, right, you can't say there was no opportunity. You just can't. So, but to that end, what did we do with it? Right? You had an awesome springboard of lots of black entertainment in the 80s and early 90s. Right? What did we do with it?
So I think you know that AIPAC is both a grassroots organization.
Oh, darn it. Darn it. Not that one. Wrong video. Wrong video. Hold on. Here we go. Uh-oh. Darn it. Technical difficulty, sorry. Come on. All right. There we go. Queued. Okay,
They
let's
are
play from here.
astounded. Should the expectations of Black America be so low? No. Is it fair? No. Is it right? No. But that's what it is. That's image. Right now, our image is that of lazy, stupid people that never show up on time. So you know what? Show up on time. Break the mold. Understand not only what the world thinks of you, understand what you think of yourself, and understand who's controlling these images. You know, when I was in high school, Queen Latifah was a Black revolutionary. Now she's, bringing down the house. That's a big difference.
Fair use.
Now, the Queen Latifah, who was a Black revolutionary, was broke. Bringing down the house, Queen Latifah is rich. They call her Dana now. I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of Black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that Black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country Forget hating black people and not hating black people. They just don't care. You can be talking about a
Don't care. Shout out to St. George,
affirmative action.
Louisiana.
I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all because I'm broke.
Right. I pose that question, right? What happens when everybody else feels poor? Right? Because we're at a time in history, most people feel poor. Even if they're making tons of money, they can look at the economic landscape. They are unsure about the future. There is too much political turmoil, and they feel poor. And people are tired. You know, and the untalked about or unmentioned thing is black flight. People are tired. Black people are tired of black people. I mean, tired of black people. Let me show you this one more time before we conclude. Where you at? Where you at? Ah, there it is. Chicago. Some parts of Chicago saw half of black population disappear. Black people are moving the heck away from other black people. And that Walmart that closed in Chicago, that was ransacked once, and they begged to open it because if they didn't open it, that was going to be racist. They ransacked it again, was in West Englewood. And what do you know? Negative 61%. Right? They are out. I am out of here. And Austin is supposed to be the nice neighborhood. That's where, who's that guy? Brandon Johnson, right? Lives in Austin. That's supposed to be the black upper crust neighborhood. Minus 32%. Right? You see these orange spots? Right? These orange spots, 568%. Basically, there were no black people there, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of black people there. They're like, we are out. We are leaving. There's no way. And I'll tell you, these orange spots here, they didn't move far enough away. they didn't move far enough. They did not. I mean, what did you move? 1 block over? Come on. But he is right. And now black people tired of black people, right? The coon train is full steam ahead out to the suburbs. Full speed ahead.
You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool? They're going to talk to you? Yeah, right. This is what we're facing. Now, this was not a very motivational speech because I'm not a motivational speaker. I got to be honest. So wait. That don't matter to me. I'm a critic. That's what I do for a living. I'm not here to tell you you can do it because you know what? Maybe you just can't do it. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. I hope you can do it. I hope to God you can do it. You better do it. Because if you don't,
you better do it.
Will you suffer? Yeah. But your kids are going to catch hell. You guys are it. Don't think about Jesse. Don't think about Al. They will not be there. And quietly, let me stop.
They will be there. Al will be there to pick your corpse for every last bit of flesh he can get off of it, hoping you get shot by a cop. and Ben Crump and the rest of them. Right? They will be there. Oh, hey, RM, how are you? Good to see you. So, yeah, they will be there to pick your corpse clean. So, there are some structural changes. I'm going to skip over that need to happen, right? There's the National Affordable Housing Act. And actually, since we do dabble in real estate, that is something I'm well aware of, right? The way that, because my guest this evening asked about Black poverty in cities, and it's like, well, it's structural, like it's meant to be there. I mean, you have these programs that basically manipulate the market to put poor Black people in large cities. So we're going to go back to, as you know, we're going to come back to Memphis. I got another video. Time's at 8 o'clock. And let's see, we talked about, here it is. We talked about DEI, or I have before, and this guy's response, right, is the purpose of DEI. Just listen to what this young man has to
Is
say.
it true? Is it not? Okay, okay. When you say investment, what are you going to do as an investment point? What's your first investment?
Put mine of the Black businesses I know within my community.
Okay.
I'm going to put money towards them.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that we get the guns off the street. I'm going to make sure that we have everything.
How are you going to do that?
See, and that's the thing. Every talking point, right? Guns off the streets, right? That's how you get. That's why Black people have been so anti-2A.
How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
That was a long plan. But if they
He doesn't have a
take use of
plan.
this,
Systemic gun control? Who's like gun control?
Systemic gun control. Man, these people are retards, man. I swear to God.
so stricter lines. So here's
No, let him go.
No,
No, you go. Go ahead.
so here's
He's getting talked over by a Black woman.
my thing. We are invoking Black Wall Street and all these other Black business owners and everything else, right? And then you're like, well, the reason it messed up was because we decided to integrate. No,
It's
they
not
blew it up.
just integrate.
No. They blew up.
Let's see how much you know. And then what happened? No. When did they build it back?
They did
They
never
blew up
build it
Black
back.
Wall
Put some money
Street.
on it.
We could not
You
build it.
want
They never built it back. Oh, there we go. That's right. I have this video. They never built it back. It's a patch of scorched earth. So, see, Greenwood District, Black Wall Street, 1926, after race riot massacre, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right? Yada, yada, yada. Look at them suits. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, 3-story buildings. Fair use. Trucks? What? A bottling company? No. Now, see, we had, and also another discussion I had just a couple of minutes ago is, well, Black people weren't afforded the opportunity, and this guy's going to say the same thing. No, Black people ran a completely parallel society, a self-sufficient parallel society. Doctors, lawyers, plumbers, tradesmen of all types, of every sort, right? There was nothing required for integration. All right, so you get the point, right? It was built back. Suge Avery.
Want to put some money on
To
it?
the grandeur
Somebody
that it was.
go ahead and fact check him right now.
To the grandeur that it was.
No. It was built back and it was just as successful as it has ever.
To the grandeur that it was, he just threw that in as some modifier, right? Because he just said, "Oh, it was never built back." Well, that's demonstrably wrong, right? So then Tatum says that, and he says, "But not to the grandeur." Like, he has no freaking clue. He just running
Had
his
ever been-
mouth. Look, and this is the point of DEI. The point of DEI is to bring in some of that more Marxist programming for this purpose. Because this guy's only going to vote one way, right? He will gladly give his political power for magic beans and claims of racism. That's what DEI is for.
It's not.
Put some money on it.
We are arguing between fact
Okay.
and fiction here. The fact
Put some money on it.
I can gladly put money on it.
All right, let's
The
do this.
fact
Let's do this.
is,
Fact
they
check it.
blew up.
Fact check it. Look at Uncle Tom the movie, Uncle Tom 2. Look at the movie. It is verifiable proof with evidence, video evidence, text evidence.
So the
people who
descendants-
live there.
So the descendants of the victims and everybody else, their points and their businesses that are no longer
They're-
there do not matter.
No, they're victims. They're paying this victimhood just like it's appeared that
It's
you're
not
playing right now.
victimhood when your family was blown
They,
up.
okay, let's put it like this. Okay, listen to this. If you claim, which is not true, you claim that they blowed it up and they never
That they
repaired,
firebombed it and,
and
they
it never
never built
repaired.
it back up.
And you said it was a lie. But just say that happened. Let's say let's say
Oh, and as a matter of fact, shut up, smarty pants. And as a matter of fact, my intro video, the parade, that's Tulsa, right? That parade is Tulsa post riot.
let's say that happened. Let's say that happened. How in the world can we build something so great in 1925 and we can't do it today?
One, segregation in general.
Not every state was segregated, mind you.
See, and that's the other thing. DEI tells you that Black people had nothing, and without integration, they could have nothing, right? That is that insecurity complex that they try to drive into you. But the fact is, Black people had everything. And it's a bunch of these light-skinned radicals, these Langston Hughes, who were just mad they couldn't go to a white resort. And these northern carpetbaggers thought they were going to express the frustrations of the Southern Negro that they didn't know anything about. I mean, they're just coastal elites.
Segregation in general within the South. Are you from the South?
South. I'm from the South.
Where you from? Texas. Okay. Segregation in the South, and you know there's no way in hell that we can establish our businesses within this time period without at least a threat of our businesses being taken out the way. There's no way that you can do that.
That's just
See, and here's the other thing, man. Black people got down during this time period, right? They want you to think that, oh, it's the victimology. Black people were defending their neighborhoods with guns, right? Fighting for, literally fist fighting for their piece of America, right? And when I hear stuff like this from somebody, it's like, who are your people, man? Who are your people?
That's simply not
even
true.
Then, you say it's simply not true, but then the countless business owners, especially in
What about the
Memphis,
ones that are still flourishing today?
the lucky?
No,
The lucky few.
Lucky few.
The lucky few. Considering the fact that the majority of our businesses were either
See, and that's the thing. You have to characterize it as the quote unquote lucky few, right? This guy is sitting here, and what you'll find out later is he's on a scholar. He got the most money from the University of Memphis. That's why he's there instead of an HBCU, right? Still with this attitude, right? Clean, well-fed, getting an education, right? To whatever end he wants to use it. And still with
either
this
running to
nonsense.
the ground, taken over or just run over again by the same white populations that wanted our stuff anyway. The issue is
Do you
not,
think the white man is against you in America?
Bitch,
Systemically.
no. Systemically?
Do you think a system is against you?
Systemically, yes, because we're built on a rocky
Where?
foundation.
Where? On campus?
In every single
Okay, institutions. At this university?
Yes.
At this university,
At this,
the white man, like the system is against you?
okay. So we have a system in the United States where we were built on a rocky foundation.
Can we start here in the
See, moonwalking through history.
university?
Shout out
I'm
to
getting where we at.
the
I'm
Clue
getting-
Channel.
Okay,
I'm getting
I'll let you get there.
Right over there, if you look over there, we have the Memphis State 8, who integrated this university. Until then, my grandmother could not go here. My grandmother
We
went
also
here.
had our
Wait,
own
wait.
universities.
Yeah,
Hey, real quick. Got to look this up. According to historical records, the first black student to attend Ohio State University was Fred Patterson, who enrolled in 1889. However, he did not graduate from the university. The first black student to graduate from Ohio State University was Sherman Hamlin Gus, who earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1892. First black woman graduated in 1905. And that state up north had its first black student in 1853. He went on to receive his MD, right, medical doctor from the University of Michigan in 1857, prior to emancipation. Watson became Detroit's first elected African-American city official and the city's richest black property owner by 1867. But they will literally paint the picture that you was just in chains till civil rights. Wasn't nothing you could do. Wasn't nothing you could do, boss. Wasn't nothing you could do.
yes, had our own universities, but not everybody can go to said universities. We are descendants of keep this in mind, the people that wanted to come to this university and the people that wanted to go to Russ, to TSU, to Howard were the descendants of sharecroppers, business owners that tried every single way for us to make waves in our communities. And the issue is that when you say, oh, well, we don't need to worry about the race issue here, you're completely forgetting the fact that we were not integrated. We were not integrated here in the city.
See, they have to be integrated to be something, right? These people have a deep insecurity
In
complex.
Memphis, we were not integrated much into the 70s. And the reason for all this is it's systemically put in place. I understand not wanting race to stop you. Completely do understand that. But we live in a society where our race is going to inflict harm and pain on every single thing that we do, even when we jump over hoops.
Listen, I do understand history, right? I took Africana studies in college. So I do understand the history of black people in America, all the way from Africa, all the way here. So what I'm saying is that there are things that people are using as crutches, right? Booker T. Washington, Tuskegee University, all the successful black men that were born and lived. Madam C.J. Walker. Do you know who Madam C.J. Walker is? Raise your hand if you know Madam C.J. Walker. Sarah Bree Love. She was Oprah Winfrey in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Think about this. How did this woman have white folks working for her and essentially was a billionaire? It's because not only did black people we had our own schools.
The reason we had our own schools was because we couldn't go anywhere else.
Why don't you go to HBCU right now instead of going to University of Memphis?
I got a full ride here.
Well, why don't you go to HBCU?
Got a full ride to Memphis. Oh my God. Clown world.
You got a scholarship.
Because I decided to go here. I had the choice to go to an HBCU.
So here's the thing. So I'm assuming if you got a scholarship here, you would have a scholarship to HBCU, right?
Yes, I had scholarships
You choose
Full
to go
ride.
to where the systemic oppression is instead of going to a HBCU.
The systemic oppression is at the HBCU too. What you're not getting is
So
See, it's everywhere, right? They'll tell you, oh, the school system is controlled 100% by black people. They'll just appeal to the next higher level of government until they find a white person and then blame that. Like, you got to be kidding me. All right, so that's this guy. All right, let me get rid of this guy. Now, they're in Memphis, and I'm going to actually let me leave that up. Oh, here it is. Okay, this guy. So just listen to what they're saying.
don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white?
Who's who's teaching us to do this?
You teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach.
Yeah, teach us something. Right? People like this aren't really free. Right? They're not really free. If you are not responsible for your failures, right? If there is only someone else who is responsible for your failures, you are not free. You are kept by those who are responsible for your failures.
You could teach something. You got a college. You could get a college education. When you have children, teach your
so
children.
basically, help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That doesn't matter, bro. You don't.
Dude, you hear that? Help yourselves. What you mean help yourself? You mean I can help myself?
Have nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh.
Tatum store, you get a free get if you spend 100. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. Okay,
Yeah.
Chris.
I noticed you have the unless I read wrong, you have the Make America Great Again.
Bro, Bone Thugs and Harmony. How young is this dude? Wait, when was Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro? How old is that, bro? I can't remember when they were out. Let me see. 1991 to present. Holy smokes. So this is 95. So how old is this kid? They were, bro, they weren't even popular by the time he was born. Bro, what? What is this?
Yeah, I do. I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know,
As
it's
a
funny.
black man.
It point to me a time in history where America wasn't great.
Listen, side note, man. Black people in America are the richest group of any group of African diaspora to ever exist. Period. They have more power politically than any other group of the diaspora to ever exist. Ever. More military power. There have been more military officers in charge of more military equipment that could probably wipe any African military off the map. Wave of his hand. Period. Just a simple statement. Where on earth is it better for former slaves in America?
Tell me where it
Birth
started.
of America.
No,
This
point in America
this
where
country
America
was
wasn't great.
built on murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country.
You
No
didn't answer
country
my
in the
question.
world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point and it became greater
You
over
didn't
time.
answer my
Ever
question.
since you've been alive, America has been the great.
And here, let me throw up seems like an important point for Frederick Douglass. Okay. Here we go. Time for another Frederick Douglass quote. As I have often said before, we should not measure the Negro from the heights which the white race has attained, but from the depths from which he has come. You will not find Burke, Grattan, Curran, and O'Connell among the oppressed and famished poor of the famine-stricken districts of Ireland. Such men come of comfortable antecedents and sound parents. Right? i.e., look at your progress. But the period from Reconstruction to the 1950s is all but invisible, or is characterized as some deep Negro suffering, void of progress.
Greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist.
Were they?
Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
As diverse?
That's as
What
diverse.
does diversity mean if people are
Opportunities
being
for
discriminated
all
against?
people. Show me another country that gives
Oh, and there's a bomb drop in here. That's why I'm showing this guy.
opportunities for all people like America.
Do you think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as
Who-
black people,
Yeah, 100%.
with a 200-year economic head start on us and no
What's stopping you
reparations?
now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
Good God, man. Did they do nothing but repeat talking points?
You're at the university just like all these white people. How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go 2 blocks that way and tell me
forget
where they
that.
at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you make straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How's America stopping you from doing
Why
that?
is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
I don't think. Let's go back to the
Do you
foundation.
think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
See, this is the DEI guys, the DEI watchers are looking at this with pride and admiration. Like, yes, we got our new little Marxist.
They,
No, I agree.
Do you think they
I've
burned
read
down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black
let's go,
Hollywood
let's go
is?
one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better, and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that.
Hey, to your point, RM. Let me just stop right here. Let me take a moment. Why is it my responsibility? Right? That is actually a good answer. Right? Why is it my responsibility? Because often the other foot, right? Often, if you critique black culture anyway, or the black community anyway, the media response is, well, what are you doing? Me, I'm holding the line. I am keeping a standard by which others can be measured. That's what I'm doing. So if you want to cosplay a victim while you actually live a really good life in America, then fine. But I'm not going to be a part of it. You know? And to those that assume themselves impoverished in some way or put upon or disadvantaged because of the color of their skin, then what are you doing? Right? Complaining Officer Tatum doesn't do nothing. Because I guarantee you, he's not talking that to his commie teachers. Oh, okay. So still, that is a good question. Well, why is it my responsibility? Is it? Whose is it? 'Cause I don't, I never see some dude from a trailer park in the Ozarks putting upon a banker in Manhattan. What are you doing for me, brother? Why aren't you coming down and helping my people? Right? They don't even share the same air. They might as well live on different planets.
I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me. What's stopping me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the fuck is not stopping us from making money?
You
What
go to the
fuck do
same
you
university as
mean?
all these white people. Well, how you got a different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We're in debt.
That's
That's our
your
fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay,
We were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this.
That same horse shit. We were never given boots to begin with. Motherfuckers made it from slavery. Like, how bitch made are you? Right? People made it out of slavery, illiterate, and unskilled. And this fool is sitting in the cradle of the West with every opportunity at his fingertips. We don't have capital. Nigga, you don't have a savings account? Huh? You don't know how to go to a bank? But this is the same guy who said, well, the white people are supposed to teach you something. A white guy got to hold his hand and take him to a bank and say, this is a savings account, young man. This is a checking account. Spend less than you make. Budget to pay your school loans back.
I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school in my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for it out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right
Texas.
in the hood and stop six. Right in the hood and stop six. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices. There's a lot of people in my
Where your
neighborhood that made it
childhood
out
friends
because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why?
What do you-
Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that
Okay.
does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You're in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
Well, that's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step.
You're always
You may
supposed to know
listen. You may
anything
be in
about making
debt.
money.
You may be in debt to make an investment.
You hear that? How am I supposed to know anything about making money? How am I supposed to know anything about making money?
To get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach. You could.
Teach us something. Come on, white man, take care of
teach
me.
something. You got a college. You can get a college education. When you have children, teach your
So
children.
basically, help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That
we know
doesn't
we've
matter, bro. You
sabotaged
don't have
from-
nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh,
You don't have nothing to do with
I thought you
that.
said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't
Do
have
you?
nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth?
You
My
have
people don't own anything.
Where
My
you come?
people
Where you
own
come from?
nothing.
My people don't own anything. I can't. That means I can't have nothing. I can't be the first one.
Where you
How
come
can
from?
you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from South Six.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What
with
does
university.
comparison mean?
It
What
means
does
that when-
comparison mean
just
when the
real quick.
statistics say that we are behind?
We're not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He's not behind. He's not behind. She's not behind. Do I want to go
You're
point
on
out
a
black
college
people?
campus. You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You were born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get opportunity that other people didn't? You're in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for
My
it.
parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who
Boom. Shakalaka.
You and other people that didn't choose.
opportunity.
How did you get opportunity that other people didn't? You're in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for
My
it.
parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no.
His parents. How did he grow up in South Memphis and make it to Memphis University? His parents. Plural.
Anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I want to make sure we talking.
And you still made it to college.
At the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our hands.
Let me
That's
say
the
this.
point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand.
Who in the hell is supposed to put something in your hand but you? Man, you know what I realized? Shout out to Mama Friedman, right? Because I was told, I don't know how many times I've heard this phrase. If it is to be, it's up. I have heard that thousands of times. My path in life was not a mistake, was not an accident. You know, the loser mentality is, oh, you just got lucky. Nobody got lucky. If it is to be, it's up to me. Another phrase, if you do the best you can with what you have until you can do better. Which indicates that at some point you are going to do better and that you are preparing to do better. You aren't sitting here whining because you have nothing in your hand.
Hand of cards to play. Hear me out.
God gives you.
Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. That's the hand you've been dealt. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. America is
But
the only place.
They proportionately.
Who is
do.
they?
Everybody else.
Everybody else like who? So you saying
Everybody else but me because I'm black. Everybody else but me because I'm black.
white people? Brother, you in the same situation as all these white.
Nigga, you loser, man. This nigga is a loser. Internal locus of control. Correct, sir. Correct. Matter of fact, let's go over that again real quick. For the people in the back, you may not have ever seen this, but I'm going to demonstrate something real quick. Oh, and I have some extra data here. Internal locus of control. No? Oh, where is it? Locus. There it is. Okay. Watch this. Okay, moreover. Okay, so sorry. Let me set this up. So 2.5 million black men are in the upper class. They define the upper class as in the upper third of income in this study. So we're not gonna read it all. We're just gonna go to this particular part that I want to highlight. Okay. I'm going to start from here. So, moreover, a number of early life experiences are associated with black men's elevated odds of being financially successful. Black men who served in the military or attended church regularly as young adults are more likely to have made it to the upper class by age 50. The impact of military experience on black men's success seems to work through its link with black men's work and marital status. That is, black men who served in the military early in life are more likely to be working full time and to be married later in life. There's a key to military service, which is internal locus of control. Because when you are given a task, you are expected to complete that task. There is no, I'm black, so I couldn't do it. That doesn't exist in the military. Having a sense of personal agency is also linked to black men's success. Black men who believed at a young age that they were mostly responsible for their lives, if it is to be, it's up to me, then outside forces measured by a locus of control scale are more likely to flourish later in life. Period. Period. Now, let me add some more context because I just got this data. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Here it is. Okay. All right. So this is, this is state, oh, darn it. This is state level test scores. How did different groups do on NAEP in 2022? Okay, so this is color coded. Yellow is Asians. White, this blue is white. Green is black. The purple is Hispanic, all right? So who's at the bottom? Black people, darn it. And Amerindian, right? Native Americans. So lowest test scores, right? Who's the highest black test scores? The highest black test scores are Department of Defense Education, I think Association. It is an outlier. You see that? Pay attention. Pay attention. Black military outscores everybody else. And here's Massachusetts, which has a decent education system. You'd expect that, but you'd expect Vermont. But what's fourth here? Texas. Uh-oh, that's a red state. That's not in the narrative. Next one is Georgia. Uh-oh, that's not in the narrative either. Next one is Florida. Oh boy, that's not in the narrative either. Right? They're not supposed to be up there. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, not Florida, Georgia, and Texas in the top 6. That's not what the it's not the narrative. So yeah, Maine trash, West Virginia trash, Wisconsin, you know, Wisconsin. All right, Wisconsin scores next to Alabama, Michigan, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's weird, man. Oklahoma's right next to Texas. You think it'd be better, but yeah, this is terrible, terrible. But anyway, but if you have a military mindset, guess what? At least you can score up here. At least you can score up here. You know, I'll try to share it with you. I don't remember where I got it. I'll tell you this. Search here. How did different groups do on NAEP in 2022? You're likely to have it pop up. Right? If you do that search, how did different groups do in NAEP in 2022? All right. So back to this.
Right, I mean, you
Am I?
playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same
Am I?
university?
Am I? What does the same university have to do with anything?
You put in the same
I had a
classes?
4 point.
Look how
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school. I did what I was supposed
What
to
you
hit.
got now?
I did what I was supposed to do.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's
the fervent belief that he is disadvantaged because of his skin color is like etched into his soul. It's sad. 4.3 in high school. So he obviously had straight A's and had some AP classes to bump up his GPA. Why? Because he had parents, plural.
what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody
Did
is
you
not.
just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I
What?
actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3 point something and don't even study.
Right.
Brother, I mean, I don't know. I think we're wasting our time talking to each other. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful. This country makes more millionaires than anywhere in the world. You can talk Oprah Winfrey
Look at him. Look how he just tunes out.
properly, you will be successful. This country makes more millionaires than anywhere in the world. You can talk Oprah Winfrey came from nothing.
I'm oppressed, damn it.
Tyler Perry came from nothing. I mean, you go down the list. You go down the list, brother.
Why are you naming rich black people?
Because these are the
Why
people.
are you naming
Well, what
rich
about me?
black people?
All right, me.
Why are you naming rich black people? I'm about to show you Memphis right quick.
You talking about
What
me
about me?
and you? I'm talking about everybody in the surrounding, everybody outside of this bubble.
Listen, man, you're a product of your decision.
Let's talk about outside of the bubble. Here is Memphis. No, he does not. He does not, sir. He does not. Okay, so this is Memphis. He said he came from South Memphis. I did another show on this. South Memphis is the ghetto, right? South Memphis is the ghetto. We know this. All right, so I'm going to show you where it is not the ghetto in Memphis. So this is this is Memphis, and let's see, we'll bump up the price of the homes. Actually, let me do this. Let me put a maximum of 250,000. Okay, so maximum of 250,000. You see, right, a lot of homes up here and in here, right? These are black areas. So what we'll do is that's the maximum. We'll get rid of that. Any price, and then we'll set the minimum to let's say 350. Okay. Now, what do you see? Right? This strip here, which roughly matches this strip here, which is where the white people live. So those houses are worth more. So you would assume more wealth. Fine. Yeah, I'm about to show you Smarty Pants. Well, technically, some of it is East Tennessee, but so this is where this is at, right? Okay, so let's click this here, click to see all homes, and okay, so look at this neighborhood, 500. Let me get that out of the way. So look at this area over here. Oh, There's lots of black people over here. Let's look at the map. All right. Here's the park, right? And here's the park. So majority black area. 359,000? What? That doesn't look ghetto. No, this can't be. This cannot be. No way. No way. Come on. There's black people live here. It's gotta be the ghetto. And here's this over here. This is this area. Let's find that in Zillow. Oh, that's right here. Wait. Black people can't live in a neighborhood like this. This has got to be some sort of mistake. Come on. What are we doing here? Exactly. Yes. Well, this is technically Cordova. Right, but we're talking the same area. Right, this is the same metropolitan area. And this is in a majority black neighborhood. So, what are we talking about here? This intense desire to be in the ghetto or somehow disadvantaged. Right, in this area, this statistical area is majority black as well. 4,740 black people, right? They're the overwhelming majority in this area. And so that is right here. 6 million, 3 million, 1 million, $735,900. What? The majority of people that live in this neighborhood are black, overwhelmingly. This is Eads, Tennessee. You understand? So when someone says, "Oh, you're using the exception," bullshit. Bullshit. I'm going in the majority, looking at houses and homes in majority black neighborhoods. Period. And so that guy said he was from South Memphis. And look, you can even live in South Memphis. Right? These are probably apartment buildings or acreage. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's right by the airport. Okay. So, oh, it's empty land. Oh, 11 acres. So, yeah, man, it's all cap. It is all cap. And this is no matter where you go in America. I can pull this up. I can go to any city and show you black people living in nice neighborhoods. And the presentation is if this is some sort of rarity. I'm in this area that is devoid of homes over $300,000 is culture. And how did that kid make it out of this area to the University of Memphis with a 4.3 GPA? Because he had parents. So parents even overcome the ghetto. So I'm going to sit around and wait for someone to show me everybody, it's a whole bunch of people that are doing it right, or anybody that's doing it quote unquote right and just can't seem to get ahead. I don't know, because I don't see it. So you have to be honest, right? That's the theme of the show. And there just isn't a lot of honesty. Right, there's a lot of excuses, and there's a lot of this misconception and just dying to be an underclass, just dying to be an underclass for whatever reason, and that's on you. That is on you. So let's talk. What time is it? Oh no, it's 8:49. We're gonna close this out. Let me real quick. Let's do Brookings Institute. You know what's funny is Brookings Institute actually, I think they're a little embarrassed by this, right? The 3 things to avoid poverty. Because it used to be readily available. But it's become like harder to find, right? Because they used to have it on their website. 3 things to avoid poverty used to be phrased just like that, but not anymore. Anyway. Point is 3 things to avoid poverty. Finish high school, right? Get a full-time job. And as I said before about the concept of Victorian culture being forced upon people, the educated northern class cannot accept people that aren't working a job. Like if you're a black man, you don't have a job, I don't know you. Straight up, I don't know you. And if you're a 30-year-old man still working an entry-level job, then I don't know you either. Hell, 25. If you're over 25 and you're working an entry-level job, bro, I don't know you. You need to go to community college and get a marketable skill and go do it. Get a trade and go do it. If you're over 25, you should either have a trade or be in management in some sort of way. Or you're just wasting your life. You know, if you're sitting here 30 working at a warehouse demanding to unionize, you're a loser. It is what it is. So get a full-time job, wait until age 21 to get married and have children. How hard is that? How hard is that? Right? You got a 75% chance of escaping poverty or avoiding poverty, let's say. That's it. Right? And the problems that the black community have are getting married. Finishing high school, most people can finish high school. Right? The problem is they graduate high school idiots. And then they get to the full-time job part and they aren't even a good cog. They can't hold a full-time job. Wait until 21 to get married, forget about it. See, so when someone says black culture isn't a problem, you should nod, no matter who says it. Because trying to rebrand black and getting your feelings hurt without accounting for these negative statistics is fruitless. You know, if you're all that offended, go donate to King Randall. Every time you're offended by someone who's not black noticing black culture is trash, go donate to King Randall. That's what you do. All right. All right. That's it, man. I gotta go. Maybe I'll do a show on these 3 things and how black culture makes these things real hard or harder than they should be. Hell, even when they do these things, they end up on campus like this guy running his suck, trying to be a victim. Well, all right, folks. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. just had to get this off my chest. Enjoy your evening. We're almost to Christmas. Christ is King. Yeah, go to church tomorrow. Or do whatever you do. Go to church. And I will holler at y'all later.